show. Carver and Lisi with you. College football picks. We've hit double digits. Week 10 in college football now. You've got to be kidding me how fast the season is rolling through. Happy Thursday to everybody. Another huge weekend ahead of us. Mike Carver with you, along with the encyclopedia of college football, the one, the only. Go for the two, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
What's up, Carver? A couple things. First of all, congrats. You put a kibosh on me last week.
I think that was your first, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I think that was the first losing week you had all year in college football.
And you happen to be on Missouri, and that hack Bo Prabula guy.
Family play.
Family play. First time we lost. Very disappointing. Disappointing on multiple levels. I did win the Texas game because I booked 6.5, but for the sake of the show, I lost. I didn't put Tennessee in there. That was the bailout, and I told you that was the holster at late night. That if Texas didn't come in, I was going big with Tennessee, and that came in, and I thought I put it in the picks, and I didn't. So very disappointing. Very disappointing week. I was all gassed up for the week. The games. I went out for dinner, and I had to. That was when the kid ran back to kick for Texas.
Yeah.
And I knew I said, all right, listen, I need you to concentrate right here. Hang on one sec. I'll make it up to you. I said, but then I got kicked in the stones with LSU and Brian Kelly. I didn't bet it, but just to be fair, that was a pathetic effort. And I'm glad they chopped them.
Chopped.
All right. Chopped.
Get him out.
Get out. What have you done for me lately? Gutless effort. And I just want to say this.
You could say it.
Because I've talked to Matt Moscona that covers the team. He was on multiple stations, and he said Kelly was great, never treated, never. But the reports that are coming out, like by some of the talking heads, like now after the fact, I didn't want to burn, contacts. Okay, all right. You for 4 years you sat on your hands, and now all of a sudden, you know what? He was out golfing every day. He was in no game plan. I mean, what I did take from all of the takeaways, I saw Malik Neighbors say kick rocks. And Neighbors was a number one under Brian Kelly. A lot of the former players came out and said, hey, they saw him in the halls. He never said it. If that's the case, get out of there, because that should be family. All right? I don't care. These kids are fighting for you, whether they're getting paid or not, and embrace them like Kenny Dillingham would. It's all family. And if that's what he did, that's BS. Get the hell out of here. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't care how nice of a guy he was. These kids fight for you. You embrace them. Now, let me just say this. This Joe Sloan that got axed, I would have kicked his ass out of the door after game number 1. But everybody in the media, you can't call out an assistant. Even Terry said that. And I respect Terry. BS. Why not? I'm paying you. I got you the gig. If you're laying up on third down and with a gutless play call, you deserve to be called out. All of a sudden now we can't yell at anybody. Everybody loves Nick Saban, and we kiss Saban's ass. All he did was go berserk on the sidelines. I mean, let's get real now. I mean, we're at LSU. Either you go big or you go home. You won the SEC West in year number 1. You beat Nick Saban. You kicked him right in the stones. I'm going for 2. And all of a sudden now we're going to get soft. You can't yell at this one. You can't yell at that one. If I was on the sidelines, I'd be throwing a chair. Enough of this already. You can't call out an assistant. You disrespected him. I would have given him a slap. Garrett Nussmeier doesn't have one 300-yard game this year. He had 8 last year. Are you kidding? Joe Sloan, like this. Look, Joe Sloan. I got to call 2 pass plays in a row. Give me a break, LSU. Get real. Man up. These fans, you can't call. He disrespected everybody. And I'm not a Southerner. You know what I am? I'm a Southerner stuck in a Northerner's body. But I still got a little bit of an attitude. All right? I don't want to, oh, hey, buddy, kick him in his ass if he's not freaking performing. Enough already. You need a little New York mentality down in Baton Rouge. Enough of this. I'm tired. I wish we could curse. You know what? We might start cursing on this gig. You know why? Because we own it. I can't anymore. I'm tired of it. All right. Hey, Saban. Oh, Saban. We got to kiss Saban's ass. Yeah, Saban's great during his day. He's an old man now. I don't want him roaming the sidelines in Baton Rouge. He got out of the game because he couldn't handle the NIL. Now we're going to bring him back to, we're going to have a statue there. Guy's older than dirt. We're going to bring him back on the sidelines. I mean, come on. Give me a break.
You all right?
No, I'm not all right.
I knew it would bother you. This is all I'm going to say about it. I want you to look at me.
Yeah, and now Whitworth. Here we go.
I want you to look at me.
Whitworth. Here we go with Whitworth. Brian Kelly declined his offers to help the program. Well, what are you going to bring, Whit? What are you going to bring? Your hoodie? What are you going to bring to the program? I'm curious. What are you going to bring? All these guys now, after the fact, declined his. I mean, come on now. Give me a break.
Joe, 4 years ago, when this guy left South Bend for what he thought was going to be greener pastures, and he did the whole embarrassing nonsense, talking like a Southerner at the basketball game, doing the TikTok videos, acting like he was been in Louisiana his entire life. I said to you then, what did I say, Joe? This is mine. Right. I have an I said it moment. Joe's usually the one who gets to do the I said it. It's my turn. I said it, Joe. I told you that this would be a disaster. I told you that he wouldn't play down there. I told you it was going to end poorly. And sure enough, Joe, it ended poorly. Poorly.
It did end poorly. I get it.
And now I love this because as I said to you last year, and you know I wasn't the biggest fan of Freeman the first couple of years. I didn't like some of the losses that he had at home to some really lower opponents. But the guy did take him to the national championship game last year. He had more big wins last year in the months of December and January than Brian Kelly had in his entire tenure in South Bend. So I love that this happened. Notre Dame got better and LSU went in the tank. And now what's Kelly going to do? Where is he going to go now, Joe? Penn State's going to hire Brian Kelly?
Yeah, I mean,
Penn State going to hire Brian Kelly?
I will say this. From the football aspect, you could say what you want. Kelly's a better coach than Franklin. He's a better coach than Franklin.
Okay.
And Brian Kelly would at least have Penn State win one or two big games. He might not make it to the college football playoff or win a Big Ten championship, but I do feel Brian Kelly at Penn State would be a better fit than anywhere else. And he'd be a potential upgrade from James Franklin. James Franklin, listen, he did less with more at Vanderbilt. He couldn't coach up a quarterback. All right, for at least the most part, you could say that Kelly at least got to the college football playoff with less than average quarterbacks. I mean, he got there with Ian Book in that group. I mean, you know, he got Jaden Daniels a Heisman. I mean, at least from the quarterback perspective,
he didn't get him anything.
Well, Jaden
Daniels got himself a Heisman.
Who recruited Daniels?
I give Kelly no credit. He didn't recruit anybody, Joe. He handed him the biggest bag of money. Okay, that's not. Recruiting nowadays, it's hard. You know, this guy's a great recruiter. This guy's You know what recruiting is now, Joe? Here's a suitcase. How many $100 bills are in it? That's recruiting now. Okay?
Doing the show with Tommy Luganbill now.
Giving these guys all the credit. Oh, I mean, Joe, am I wrong or not? I mean, this is your college football. You want
Don't
all
start,
these
Carver. Don't start. This is the way we're going to start. This is the way we're going to start.
Yes or no? Are you recruiting now, or are you bringing the biggest bag of money? What is
they had an $18 million roster. We know that.
I'm saying I'm not giving anybody. I don't really give anyone any credit anymore.
They bring in these guys. Everybody's a friend of a friend. Give me a guy. What I mean is, the coordinators, right? He brings in Blake Baker. Yeah, Blake Baker was great at Missouri, okay? But this is a different animal. You could perform at Missouri where there's no expectation and pressure. It's different. When you coach at Alabama and Georgia and LSU and Florida and all Ohio State, the bullseye's on your back now. You have to step up and perform immediately. And again, it's almost like the Brian Dable situation in the New York Giants. The reason why he is where he is, and not to go cross with the NFL, but they over-exceeded expectations and won a playoff game with Daniel Jones. And just like Kelly, you win the West, you beat Saban in year one when the talent and the roster weren't elite, and then all of a sudden the expectation is through the roof, and all he did was just basically just limp to the finish line, and that's the problem. And here's the thing. Now we got everybody and all the Southerners, and not to knock the Southerners, but the New York guys get a bad rap. I know more college football than Southerners, I tell you that. All right, and everybody's that's hanging out in the Bible Belt. Hey, buddy, you got to get this one. You got to get that. Give me a coach with an attitude, and I don't want Ed Orgeron. Okay, because Ed Orgeron was just a motivator. He wasn't a game planner. I want a guy that has a chip on his shoulder and that prepares the team. I don't care if he's a CEO, but I want him involved in every facet of the game plan. Okay, maybe it is Summerall that they should go after. That guy's a motivator. He's blue collar, and I'll tell you what, he knows the area from recruiting. And on top of that, he's going to want to prove that he's deserving of the job. That might be the way to go. Throwing $13 million at Lane might not be the way to go, because now you're in the same situation. I don't want Saban. I'll tell you that right now. Any LSU backer that thinks they want Nick Saban to roam the sidelines and the old man's going to turn it around in 2 years, you got another thing coming. Because he was on his way out with Alabama and saw the writing on the wall, and now we're going to scrape him up off the street after not coaching for 2 years and expect that the guy hits the ground running. Give me a break.
All right. Everybody checking in here on the chat box as well. Of course, Eddie in Columbus is in, loves college football. Go back to the 80s. I also think the uniforms matter. Everybody checking in. Good to have everyone on a Thursday afternoon here for the college football picks.
You sound like you're in a garbage can. Are you all right? The acoustics. Your mic on?
My mic's on, Joe.
All right.
I mean, what are you doing to me here? You telling me that it sounds bad now? You telling me you can't hear me?
I hear you. Just sounds a little echoey. That's all.
It's probably a little echoey. I'm in a different room now.
Whoa.
Moved in the house.
All right.
We don't have all of the same.
You want me to lend you my mic? Here, look. Whoop.
It's not about a microphone. It's about the room, and the acoustics in the room have not been completely ironed out yet.
What do you got back there?
I mean, let's get the Eddie in Columbus, since he can write in the chat box. Eddie, do I sound that bad compared to how I usually sound, Eddie? Eddie listens all the time. And by the way,
thank you, Eddie. How
about the job Eddie did getting all of the
great job,
all the picks? The Mortadels in college are 15-11 after 9 weeks. The Ruby Slippers are 1-1. Family plays 2-1. And the system plays 2-3. Eddie says I sound fine. So there you go. Joe's just typical. So Joe's fired up about LSU. He's got all kinds of problems. I've been doing the Bet River show the last 3 days in this room. Nobody's complained about that. I've gone back and listened. Joe says it sounds bad. Joe's too used to having everybody telling him the smallest things that are wrong with him. So that's why Joe's got to, now bring that out here. Joe, somebody hears a pin drop from 600 yards away and they give Joe a call. So Joe needs to make sure, Joe's probably got that ingrained in his head now whenever he tries to talk.
PTSD.
Audio's fine. All right, Joe.
What's the background? Let's
get this lined up. Here it is. College football there. Now, Joe, 2-5 last week. Still, first time he's fallen under 60% in a while. 42-31. Ugly that is. 30-43. Although I did have a 4-3 week last week, Joe, a winning week for me, which is rare. So I'm going to try. I need a couple more of these. Maybe I can catch up a little bit here and put some sweat in you by the time we get to championship weekend. Let's see if we can somehow try to maneuver that. Week number 10, Joe, with it. Week 10. How about that?
Already, Carver.
You ready to take us out with your first one? What do you got to start things off?
No, I lost this week. So now you go.
Oh, is that right? Is that how we want to do it? Okay,
that's how we want to do it, Carver.
That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. All right, pick number 1 for me, Joe. You know where I'll start? I'll start. You're probably going to have some of the bigger games, so I'll start a little smaller. You know what? I'm going to go after one of your teams to kick things off. Pick number one, Big 12, Saturday afternoon, 3:30 East kick in the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas, where Joey McGuire and the Red Raiders come a-calling for Kansas State. Not a good year for Kansas State, Joe. They've had a tough year there. They're 4-4, awful start, played a little bit better. Joe, Texas Tech, they're a machine of the Big 12. They're like the best team. They're the favorites to go to the college football playoff, win the conference. I think this is a little too much here, Joe. Kansas State getting 7.5 at home in a game that I think they might be able to not win, but push Texas Tech and give them a bit of a scare. I'm going to take Klieman in the 7.5, Joe, with the Wildcats to maybe give Texas Tech a little bit of a problem in the Little Apple on Saturday. Pick number one for me.
So, quick background. I thought this line was a little fishy.
It's fishy.
It came out at 5.5 and it jumped to 7.5 now. Will Hammond is done. He had ACL surgery. He's going to take about 9 months to obviously heal. Baron Morton, though, is back for Texas Tech. So next year, it looks like Joey McGuire will be in the portal looking for a quarterback because of the unknown about Will Hammond coming back before week number 1. So keep an eye out for that. I do feel Texas Tech, as good as they are defensively with David Bradley in that front seven, this could pose a problem, especially in the Little Apple. You look at the series perspective. Kansas State has won 8 straight in the series. They own Texas Tech when you just think about that. So I'm not betting this game in any capacity.
Okay.
Obviously, I want to see Texas Tech prevail. I do feel they're wearing black pant with the black helmet and the white jersey. Not a fan. I wish they would incorporate a little red, but we'll see how it plays out. Dangerous game. Texas Tech does get through this, they potentially have an opportunity to win a Big 12 championship. I'm not touching it in any capacity. I will stay with the former Big 12 champion and go out to Knoxville for a mortadella right out of the back. Now, thankfully, as bad as the week was, 2-2 in mortadellas. So we maintain that 4 games over 500 on the mortadellas, trending in the college 15-11. On the NFL side, phenomenal, 11-4. I mean, I don't know what more I could do on the NFL side, but I believe in John Mateer in this spot. This game last year, Oklahoma lost to Tennessee because of how bad Michael Hawkins and Jackson Arnold were at the quarterback position. Tennessee should have been a pick of mine, laying it against Kentucky. They had won 4 straight. They absolutely abused them. Just a gutless football team with Mark Stoops. They ran it. They threw it. Stark Thomas had a field day. I believe Oklahoma, now they got exposed by Lane Kiffin and Kewan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss. This is an elimination game. Whichever team loses is out in the college football playoff. Whichever team wins potentially could be an at-large team. I do believe in Oklahoma's front seven a little bit more than Tennessee. I do believe in Mateer over Joey Aguilar, even though Tennessee has been a dominant home team over the years. They had a win streak before Georgia snapped it. I'm going to go with Oklahoma plus the 3.5. Mortadell, but I also think they could win this game outright. I like the Sooners in this matchup.
So for the sake of the show, you're taking Oklahoma plus the 3.5? Is that
correct?
Pretty much what I could do?
Mortadell.
Okay, mortadell. Yeah, I don't keep track of that stuff. You and Eddie do with the mortadells.
That's not nice.
And who's going to be in mortadells?
You're throwing shade on the mortadells. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, listen, you've had a big year. I just don't know.
I say you're jealous. Here we go. You know,
again, I mean, it's
I
just
don't
remember.
have the Bet Rivers show. I don't have no Bet Rivers show.
We're just turning the calendar to November now, this weekend. So there's some time left here. And here's a chance for me to pick up a game on you. You want to know why? Pick number 2 for me. I like the other side. I don't think that Mateer's been healthy since he's come back for that Texas game. I think that Tennessee has too much offense for Oklahoma. I understand that their defense is very good. You mentioned this is a de facto playoff game. The loser of this game is pretty much going to be on the outside looking in, no matter the situation. Games in Knoxville, Joe, I'm going heads up with you. Give me the Vols minus the 3.5. I think they win by a touchdown over Oklahoma, and they get the job done, Joe. So we're heads up for Tennessee and Oklahoma this week.
Well, good luck. I think they get smashed. So I like
smashed.
that. The fact
Oklahoma might win, Joe. Not getting smashed. Okay, not getting smashed. You think Oklahoma's going to go into Knoxville and smash them? That's what you're saying. No shot. Joe, no shot that happens.
You're going to win it outright.
No shot.
All right.
No shot.
All right. Can I finish now? All right. You ready?
Pick number 2.
Pick number 2, Mortadell. We're going out to a rivalry game. I honestly believe this potentially could be the best team in college football. Now, record-wise and team-wise, they will not show it, but it's the largest cocktail party, and it's a rivalry game. Okay, I love Georgia. Love Georgia in this game. They've won 4 straight in the series, and I understand DJ Lagway and that team is with an interim staff. I get that. There could be obviously fired up with Billy Napier being let go a couple of weeks ago, but I believe that Kirby and this team now have this offense humming. I know they had an extra week of preparation. Potentially that could derail them, but Georgia's had an MO of starting very slow in recent weeks, and they've had to turn it on in the second half. I think in this game, they look to make a statement playing in Jacksonville. You're talking about a Georgia offense that can pound the rock between the tackles. They're averaging 190-plus rushing yards per game. I love Gunnar Stockton. He's playing lights out. I love the wide receiver core, but I believe in this defense. They're holding opposing offenses less than 3.5 yards per carry. Whoa, I think this is a beatdown. Georgia rolls minus the 7.5. Mortadell number 2.
Wow, Mortadell, huh? I do have it for you, Joe. Let's see if we can get the full. There it is. There it is right there.
What is that?
That's the cocktail party. It's there behind me. We do have the cocktail party as the background this week. Now, I like what you're saying, Joe. I think it all sounds great for Georgia here in the world's largest cocktail party in Jacksonville. Florida coming in, interim coach, no more Billy Napier. We're going to get the little bounce here from them maybe. Here's what I do know, Joe. I hope Georgia does smash them. But I think that Florida could score a couple points too, because let's be honest here, Joe, Georgia's defense, not what it's been the past couple of years. Their defense, you've been able to score on them a little bit. So I'm not going to go heads up with you, Joe. I'm not going to go family play with you. I'm going over, up, and away. Over 50.5 in Jacksonville for Georgia and Florida. I think Georgia could score 35 plus, and I just need Florida to chip in a little bit, Joe, which I think that they can. Over 50.5, Georgia and Florida. Pick number 3 for me.
All right, I could see it being under the total, but we'll see. We'll see because I think
you got to do something like that. Like, you see, that's just not right. You know what you could have said? You could have said something like, wow, chance for both of us to eat here. Maybe Georgia wins by 28. And we get over the total.
Right after me, right?
No, could have been nice, but no. It's not. I think it's an under. I think it stays to the under. You can't. I bet everybody can win one, Joe. What's wrong with that?
Well, now I'm looking to make a statement against you because you abused me last week. So
now I hope Georgia wins 38-35. Okay, and you don't cover the 7.5. Now I hope it's a 38-35 game.
All right, you ready for Mortadell number 3?
Give me another one. Go ahead.
So this team started 4-0, and then they lost 3 straight. But they lost 3 straight, Carver, by only 10 total points, or 3.3 points per game.
Sure.
And they have the nation's second overall team, and your boy Kurt Cignetti coming to town. And let me just say this. Everybody was on UCLA last week. Everybody loved the kid. Where's the video, UCLA, of Jerry Neuheisel? Where is he? Yeah! You want to be a Bruin? Yeah! They're smashed last week. Smashed 56-3. Huh? Where are you now, Tim Skipper? Where's everybody in the Bruin fan base, huh? You still want to see Neuheisel pump the team up after a 53-point loss? Now Indiana goes on. This line for Indiana opened at 17.5, immediately went 4 points to 21.5 through a key number. And I get it. They can run it. They can throw it. Fernando Mendoza playing lights out. Defensively, they're opportunistic, +8 in turnover margin, playing phenomenal third down defense. But this Maryland team plays everybody pretty tough A lot of freshmen involved. Malik Washington coming into his own. I understand he's been a little turnover prone against Nebraska, also in the second half against Washington. I get that. But for me, this team could hang, I think, within 3 touchdowns. They're plus 11 in turnover margin. Maryland is. They play well at home. You got the second overall team in the country coming in. It's not Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, or it's Indiana. And I understand that Cignetti loves to play bully ball. But the 2 games that he won on the road, Iowa, he didn't cover, right? And his other road game, he only won by 10. Granted, it was Oregon. But the margin of victory wasn't 4 touchdowns. I'm going to take those 21.5 with Loxley. I can't believe I'm doing this. But I'm going to take it. Mortadell number 3, Maryland, plus the 21.5. My big dog barking of the week. Maryland. Rah, rah, rah.
Eddie's right. I was 1,000% right with Indiana last week. Total smash job against UCLA. Smash job in that game. Joe, I'm surprised you're back in Loxley. I got to tell you, that is not somewhere that you like to live. I can't believe it. I'm not going near this game. Indiana did the job for me last week. I'm not going to go back to the well 2 weeks in a row. I lean Indiana, Joe. I think Indiana will cover this number because Maryland's gutless, and you know it. You know that Maryland's gutless. I think you're just going after Cignetti here. You're trying to prove a point. And unfortunately for you, you're back in Loxley, which is not the type of guy that you want to go in back. All right, Joe, next one for me. This is a fun game. It's not going to be extremely under the radar because it's the only Pac-12 game on the board. The old Pac-12. Washington State making the trip to Corvallis to splash around with the Beavers coming up here. Oregon State getting 3.5 at home, 48.5 the total. Joe, you seen any of Oregon State this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they suck. Oregon State.
They have great
uniforms,
though.
Are
when they had
awful.
Vincent Bernard and Matt Moore.
And what have we seen recently out of Washington State, Joe? Not that bad. They've played some pretty good ball in a couple of spots. You know, look, I mean, they're not all great, but they're 4-4 this year. They're 5-3 against the number. Oregon State is awful. They're 1-7. They're 2-6 against the number. Joe, I'm going to lay it on the road here with the Cougars. Washington State minus the 3.5, splashing around in Corvallis. Give me Wazoo minus 3.5.
That's a good pick. I just want to give some breaking news via On3 and Pete Nikos. Matty Rule, 2-year extension. Matty Rule staying in Lincoln. You think he did that because he thinks he's going to get smashed by USC this week? Matty Rule?
Is that game on your card?
No. Is it on yours?
Might be.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you a game that is on my card. It's a 12 o'clock kick. You ready?
Sure.
It's another Mortadell, Carver. This team could have been undefeated in the conference if it wasn't for a gutless effort last week.
Could have, should have.
They were laying 2.5, and they lost the game by 1 point because they allowed Wake Forest to go down in 15 seconds and kick a game-winning field goal. Now, this team is typically a very, very good home team. And Kevin Jennings and SMU are battle-tested. And they're physical. And they could stop the run just as good as anybody in the conference. And you know, Cristobal, this is the game where first of all, there is pressure on Miami in this game. There's no pressure on SMU now. They lost last week. They can get back into the conference championship, and nobody's thinking about getting back to the college football playoff because SMU sort of, tempered down expectations a little bit, sure. Right? Here's the thing. This line opened at 10.5. We're seeing 11.5s in the market. Look, Miami might win, and they might smash them, but I don't see it. This is another typical game where Mario and the Hurricanes are going to fail to live up to expectations. Carson Beck in a tough road environment, and this place is going to be a hornet's nest. Make no mistake about it. This is SMU Super Bowl. The fact that they lost to Wake Forest and got abused last week, and we said that line was fishy at 2.5. It was a very fishy line last week. I expect a bounce back effort. Hornets nest, Mortadell style. SMU, it wouldn't shock me if they win it outright. SMU plus the 11.5. Mortadell.
Well, I got good news for you, Joe.
Oh, no.
I got good news for you.
You're on Miami?
No. The good news is you get an extra point. It's 12.5 now.
Oh, I'll take it. Beautiful.
So SMU plus the 12.5. I'm not going to lie to you, Joe. I thought about putting this game on my card. If we were picking 8 or 9 games, it probably would have slid in there, and I would have been with you. I would have been an SMU for me. I kind of like SMU in this game as well, plus the 12.5. This is usually, like you say, this is a Mario big chest, not going to show up.
A game. Mario big chest.
Mario. Big chest. All right. Pick number. What are we at here, Joe? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick 5.
You're pick 5.
Pick 5. This is the Eddie and Columbus special here, Joe. The Buckeyes. Big noon kickoff against Penn State. A wounded dog coming into Columbus, Joe. They've got no coach. They've got no quarterback. And they've got, Joe, no shot. This is... I haven't thrown one of these out. When I saw that Eddie did the compiling of the Ruby Slippers, I noticed that there hasn't been many this year. So I think it's time that we get one back out. This is the Ruby Slipper Triple Dog Diamond, Joe, play of the week. And that is Ohio State to, Joe, look at me, Joe. Smash Penn State on Saturday afternoon. Smash Penn State. Now, look, are they going to score 50 points? Maybe not, Joe. But here's what I do know. They don't give up any points, Ohio State. Their defense has been so good. And you have this awful Penn State offense, which has no quarterback coming in. Joe, they might not score. 24 points might be enough for me. At 24-0, I think they'll score more than that anyway. Laying the 20.5 with Ohio State. Smash play, Joe, on Saturday afternoon.
I always bet Penn State in the series, but the last 2 games, Ohio State is covered. They have won 8 straight. The last 4 only by 9.2 points per game. The last time we saw this spread at 20.5 was back in 2019. That was where Ohio State, that was the game where Penn State the week before went to Illinois, in 8 overtimes, and they lost.
Yeah. And
they were catching 20.5, and they wound up covering because they had it. They just gave it their best shot with Sean Clifford and John Dotson. A couple of years ago, it was at 18.5. Ohio State didn't cover. They won again, but I agree with you. I think they smashed them in this game. Jim Knowles does come back to Ohio State. His defense has sucked up until this point. If you allowed Iowa to abuse you, what are you doing? It could be a breakout game for Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin, who, by the way, could be a dark horse if he just all of a sudden starts putting up 400-yard performances. Keep an eye out. I'm with you. So pick number 5 for you, Ohio State. I like it. It's not on my card, but I'm in agreement with you.
Okay.
All right. Here's another dog. Let me see. How many dogs on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dogs, 3 favorites. I only gave out Georgia as the one favorite. Another dog. Last dog of the day. We're sticking to the ACC. And I know Louisville is good. And Jeff Brom, and they're catching, potentially a dark horse to make the championship again. But I liked Philip Montgomery. I like what Virginia Tech has. They're fighting. They're playing hard. Kyron Drones, you take the good, the bad, and the ugly with Drones. Let me just say this. Sorry about that, Eddie, too. Our thoughts and condolences to you and your family, Eddie. Brother. We think about you always. I just like Virginia Tech here. I think Virginia Tech, they have to win. I think they're 4-5, 3-5. They have to win 3 of their next 4 to get to bowl contention. But even if they don't win, just keep it within 10.5. I like the way their offense is humming. They're running the football. Drones is mobile. I know Louisville's good. But again, this team has pressure on them going on the road. I don't think they've ever won in Blacksburg. Not that they've played every single year, but you also have that factor that the team has never won in Blacksburg. I'll take the 10.5. I think they're playing with house money Give me the Hokies, baby. And they're rocking maroon helmets with gold. What do you mean, no?
Go ahead.
It's obvious you don't like the pick.
Look, I'm
All of a
not
sudden
playing the
now,
game.
here we
I'm
go.
not playing the game. You're going to need a lot more than flashy helmets to get you through this one. Okay? You're going to need a lot more than flashy helmets to get you through this game.
Lisi and Herb Street. I didn't realize the new show name here. I forgot who was
You're going to need a little bit more than flashy helmets for this.
I forgot. Lisi.
That Vaught Tech team, Joe, gutless is what they are.
We'll change the show. Orlovsky and Lisi. I didn't realize who I was doing the show. Okay, no problem. All right, Virginia Tech, pick 5 plus the 10.5.
All right. Pick number 6.
I turned it into a wheel overnight.
Go to the SEC.
All right.
I've been a little impressed with this guy lately, Joe. I mean, 7-1 against the spread this year. This Levy's got Mississippi State actually. They're getting better. They're improving under him. Here we go on the road to Fayetteville against them Hogs. Hogs last week. Not a good scene against Auburn. Not a good scene all year.
I said Auburn. That's
okay. Now, plus 4.5 for the Bulldogs here in Fayetteville. I'm taking it, Joe, with the 4.5. I can't trust Arkansas to cover anything. They might win this game. They seem pretty beat down. I feel like Mississippi State, though, Joe, do you with Levy right now feel like they're starting to maybe – I know that they're still in the bottom rung of the SEC, but he's starting to – maybe the wheels are turning a little bit for Levy there in Starkville.
What do they lose? 15 straight, right?
I'm not – 50 – is it 15 straight?
I believe so. I gotta look.
You're talking about against Arkansas?
No, 15 straight SEC
games. You're probably right about that.
Hang on, I'll tell you quick. Hang on, because I saw the graph.
No, because they didn't win one last year. You're probably right.
They are right now in conference 0-4.
Okay.
Last year, let's give you all the fans everything. 0-4, 0-8 last year, and in 23, they were 1-7. Okay. So they won that game.
Look. But I'm not looking for them to win. Okay?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Here's something. Their last conference win, Carver, came against Arkansas on the road 7-3, October 21st, 2023.
Awful game. I remember that game. One of us was on that game. Let me just tell you, Joe, I don't care if they win. I care that they stay within the 4.5. They're 7-1 against the number this year. They're staying in games. They're not getting smoked in these games. I know this number is a little shorter than what last year. Big number they covered against Texas, and they blew that game. They should have won it. I feel like that they're trending in the opposite direction, these two teams. Mississippi State slowly going up. Arkansas going way down. Give me the 4.5 with Mississippi State, Joe.
All right, by the way, I'm going to buy I saw this photo, phenomenal, of Mike Washington, my favorite running back now. Hog Wild will love it. I'm buying a 20-by-30 of this guy in the open field against Ole Miss. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. I can't wait for this guy to go pro because I think this guy, Mike Washington, is going to be legit. 6'2.5", 235. He's got arms like bowling balls, and he runs with an attitude. Love guys like that. I'm just saying. All right, so that's pick 6 for you.
Yeah.
Pick 6 for me. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm not sold on your boy Diaz at this point. He might be checked out.
I'm done with him.
I tell you what, he might be checked out. Every time this team plays a tough opponent, they sort of crumble. If they play Syracuse, lay the wood or catch points, whatever, they play anybody that plays a hint of defense, they get cracked in the mouth. And they play Clemson. Clemson, I know, sucks. Yeah. But Clemson at home has Clemson was 70-3 at home dating back to 2015 prior to 2024. They are now like 71 or 77 and 8. They have lost 5 home games over the last 2 years. They have lost 3 home games. You cannot allow that to happen, and especially you're going to lose to Duke and Darian Menz. Look, I didn't make this a more to Dell. But whether Cade Klubnik plays or not doesn't matter. If it's Chris Vezina, you have to win this game by a field goal if you're Clemson. Clemson minus the 2.5. Look, if they lose this game, Dabo's out. I know Terry doesn't think so, but there is no shot that you can allow this team to fall off a cliff now, Carver. It's unacceptable. So, by principle, Clemson needs to win by a field goal. I'm laying the 2.5 with the Tigers.
Joe, I looked at that game a little bit the other day, and I couldn't trust. I don't know. I'm definitely done with Duke because they've burned me twice this year. The Illinois game and the Georgia Tech game. System play. They're the reason why the system play. Duke by themselves has crushed the system play this year. But look, I am not getting involved with Duke or Clemson whatsoever. Joe loves the ACC. It's true. Joe does love these ACC games. It's amazing sometimes. All right, so Joe is going with. Give me that one more time, Joe. Give me what number do you have?
Clemson minus the 2.5.
Yeah, that's what I have here too. Is the 2.5 as well. So Clemson minus 2.5. All right, last pick for me, Joe. Now, if you remember, I'm going back to a similar spot as last week. A late nighttime Big 12 game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little too much gas for Houston going into Arizona State. And they ended up winning the game outright. I didn't think that they would do that, but they won the game outright. So a great spot there. It was 7.5. It seemed like it was too much. So similar spot here for me, Joe. I've got this Cincinnati team who's played very well this year, 7-1, going into Utah. I don't expect him to win the game. Utah, of course, took it to Colorado a week ago. But Joe, 9.5, Satterfield and Cincy, they've played well. I don't think they're going to go and get completely boat raced out in Utah late. I know it's a late night game, all those things. I think this number's too big, Joe. Cincinnati plus the 9.5 in Utah. I'm taking that for pick number 7.
Shoresby and that team are legit. Let me just say, and Satterfield has done a fantastic job. Their their only loss, Carver, came to Nebraska.
Yeah,
on a neutral field, and that was a game that Nebraska was supposed to kill them, and they didn't. You know what I mean? So I like that. In that, hang on one second. I'm trying to buy a photo here.
What do you? Could we buy the photo after the game, after the show? Can we get through this first?
Yeah, pick number 7. This team owes me.
Oh, here we go.
I know. No ACC. Okay, no ACC. Big 12. I'm going back to the Aranda. Okay, they play UCF. They play UCF. Carver. Both teams suck. UCF is 4-3. Baylor got smacked around by Cincinnati. Now Cincinnati's really good. It's just that offensive line broke down. Supposedly they got rid of the offensive line coach. Sure. There was personal reasons. I just think Aranda's on the hot seat. I believe more in Sawyer Robertson than I do Taven Jackson and UCF. Scott Frost is a good coach. He's not an elite coach anymore. Sorry, he's good. He's not elite, and UCF doesn't play defense. I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to lay the 3.5 again with Baylor at home. If you can't win this game, he could be out again. These are two coaches. Oh, the Omega Blake Ripper. The Omega. I love the Omega Blake. That's it. The Omega Blake. I do love this Baylor in Waco. I'm laying
too much with this Aranda. Oh,
all
right.
It's a short number. You're telling me they can't cover this line?
Okay.
I think it's going to look phenomenal on the screen too.
Not in the mix.
UCF is going to be wearing probably black pant, white shirt, gold helmet. It's going to look fantastic. I know this Baylor's again, but I have to go back to the well. They owe me. They lose this game, I swear I'll kick Aranda in the ass. All right, Baylor is gutless. You're right, Brian. I get it.
They lose this game, Joe. Aranda might not be around anymore for you to kick him in the ass. He might be chopped on Monday. He might be next.
I'll find him. All right. I'll tell you what, Bosco. Remember Easy Money? He's too far ahead to lose. I'll kill you,
Baylor is gutless, Brian says. Baylor, gutless. I said it.
I'll
Brian
kill you,
says
Bosco.
there.
Remember that.
All right, Carver, Lisi, week 10. college football picks. I have Kansas State plus the 7.5, Tennessee minus the 3.5, Georgia, Florida over 50.5, Wazoo minus 3.5, Ohio State minus 20.5, and then a couple pooches, Joe, at the end. Miss State plus 4.5 and Cincy plus 9.5. Joe has Oklahoma plus the 3.5, Georgia minus 7.5, Maryland plus 21.5, SMU plus 12.5, Virginia Tech plus 10.5, Clemson minus 2.5, and Baylor minus 3.5. The Carver and Lisi Week 10 college football picks. All right, Joe, let's rip through some other ones neither of us picked. Get some thoughts on some of these games. First of all, Friday night, North Carolina and Syracuse. You got it. That is as woof as it gets for a Friday night game. Oh, my God. Any interest in North Carolina, Syracuse on Friday night?
I'm going to probably take the over.
Yeah?
I picked. Look at Eddie with the picks. Joe's picked Baylor 4 times. That's not bad, Eddie. I'm 2-2.
You've picked Baylor 4 times in 9 weeks. You've picked Baylor.
So what's wrong with that? Sometimes you go. Yeah, I'm 500 with them. Maybe we're due to break out. All of a sudden, now that's a problem. I didn't realize.
It's okay.
You got to mix it around. I like the over. This Ricky Collins sucks. Let me tell you. He cost me a cover against Georgia Tech. He's a deer in the headlights, this guy. Ricky Collins, they haven't won a game, Syracuse, with Ricky Collins at the helm. Okay? Do you realize that? What?
Okay.
I'm just saying. All right, forget it.
It's the game's too much. Memphis laying 13.5 at Rice.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
48.5. We get over that total? Maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe. We'll see. All right. Saturday, noon East kicks.
Yeah.
Vandy and Diego Pavia into Austin against Texas. Texas minus 2.5. 45.5 the total. What's the deal with Arch, Joe? Is Arch out or is Arch playing?
He's in concussion protocol right now. No, what? We'll get an update, I think, at some point today. But he had a practice, I think.
Get an update at 11:55 East on Saturday morning.
Look,
that's when you get an update.
Here's the bottom line: if you bet this game, you just go in that he's not going to play. And at the end of the day, it might not be a bad thing because again, he made some plays, but he didn't make some plays last week. And I'll just say this: Ryan Wingo. I don't know what he was thinking about last week, but he dropped not 1 but 2 clear touchdown passes in that game. So we'll see how they stand. I was impressed with Texas's defense in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. This game was basically 3 points last year. I bet this game last year, laying basically almost 3 touchdowns. They had a 14-0 lead. They get the ball at midfield, and Sarkisian's basically playing for the field goal. Yeah. That almost cost them the cover. I would lean to Texas, but I don't love it. Do you like it?
This Pavia's got a little something going right now, Joe. They really do. This Vanderbilt team. There's a little bit of there's some magic carpet ride going on with them. If Arch doesn't play, I think Vandy can win the game. I really do.
Okay.
It's a tough spot for them, though, right? I mean, this is a real tough spot. If they got through this, though, Joe, they're going to be in shape. I saw this question. Is Pavia the Heisman frontrunner if he wins this game on Saturday? It's kind of narrowed down, Joe. I think there's 5 names. Now, I, of course, can't bring it up that fast here in front of me because I'm in New York, and, of course, they don't let me bet on these things. But I think when I was looking the other day, Simpson, Mendoza, Pavia, and there's 1 or 2 others, Joe, who have kind of separated from everybody else. And it's kind of like a 4 or 5 horse race now for the Heisman. Up there at the top.
I think it's Simpson right now.
It's probably, if it was today, it's probably Simpson. But this Pavia.
Yeah, but they would have to win. And he would have to put, like, here's the thing though, like he put up $129 against Missouri last week.
But he's gutty, Joe, and he won the game. Again, they've changed this award now. It's not about who has the best stats. It's about whose team, who it's become the most valuable player, not the most outstanding player. That's what it's become, sadly. I don't like that. we've had this discussion several times the last few years. I prefer that it goes back to being the most outstanding player in college football, not the most valuable player in college football. There's a difference.
I mean, Texas is 20th. Who's up on their thing? Who do they play after that? I just want to say.
Yeah.
A&M?
Sayin will be up there too, Eddie. Sayin from Ohio State's going to be in the mix as well.
Tell you what, you know what the test is going to be when they play Auburn, because Auburn potentially has the best front seven in the SEC. I said it. They are as physical as you could be. And if Auburn, they rip apart that defense from Auburn, then you know what? He's got my thing. I think if you think that they're going to beat Texas, bet them for the Heisman, even more so now.
Yeah.
But then that Auburn game will push them over the top, because Auburn's defense.
You still got Tennessee too after that.
Yeah, I know. You have Kentucky too. So, but my point is, Kentucky and Tennessee's defense are nowhere near Auburn, not the front seven.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Auburn, to me, Atkins in that front seven, that linebacker for number 18 for Auburn, you want to talk about ripping your head off? They could if they had a hint of anybody's offense in the conference outside of their own, they would be basically a 1 or 2 loss team at most.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, I think Texas is going to win, but I don't want to get in front of Andy right now. How about that? I'll say it to you probably.
That's the way I feel. Go ahead.
As about it there. Let's see. What else do I got for you here? Illinois laying 12.5 at home against Rutgers.
I would take the points.
62.5. Woo! A lot of points they're expecting there. Houston laying 13.5 against West Virginia. West Virginia stinks, Joe.
They do.
They stink.
They do, but I mean, Terry was there and he saw it firsthand. They have quarterback problems. I think I would
Terry's
take.
Been everywhere lately. Auburn, West Virginia. Terry's been all over the place.
Did you get the over in TCU, West Virginia?
No, way on. It missed.
It went because their offense sucks. I think we take the over in Houston, West Virginia. I'd be willing to take that.
I've done a bunch of West Virginia overs this year, and it's just not working for me. It's just not. Iowa State laying 7.5 against Arizona State. To say that I need a break from the Cyclones after last week, Joe, would be an understatement. So no thanks here.
What?
Even though they're probably the right side. Iowa State, they let BYU run all over them in the second half.
How do you do that if you're Campbell? And Campbell's another one that he could have left years ago. And then when the team was hot at the start of the year, they were like, "Oh, Campbell for Penn State. Campbell, where's Campbell now? Do you still want Matt Campbell?"
No.
I will say it looked fantastic on the screen. BYU, blue helmet, blue pant with the white shirt. No, it looked fantastic. Robbie Bosco days. It looked like Robbie Bosco back in the day. No?
Sure.
The worst uniforms that BYU ever had was Luke Staley and Brandon Doman when they had Gary Croton as head coach, even though they were on a heater that year. Those were ugly uniforms.
You laying 7.5 with Iowa State?
Probably. Could we get the under there?
Arizona State's so banged up.
Could we get the under?
Yeah,
they're going to start Jess Sims.
He stinks. He is so bad.
But I like Arizona State's defense. Now,
so play the under 48.5.
The game's on HBO Max. Since when do we start showing
on TNT or HBO Max? Maybe I don't know what the.
Look, Carver 2-1. Eddie's. I tell you what, this is like ESPN research.
Well, I know that I
ABC.
Well, I know that I had Iowa State week 1 in Dublin against Kansas State. I know that was definitely one of my Iowa State's plays this year. That's for sure. I kind of like UNLV minus 3.5 against New Mexico too, Joe. Just so you know, I just dropped that in. I know that game's not of high importance, but Pitt making the trip to Palo Alto, laying 2 tutties and a hook, 14.5.
They're hot, and I'll just say this:
Pitt's playing well.
If you want an outside lottery ticket, Pitt's won 4 straight with Mason Heinsteichel. Yeah. They play Stanford. They also play Georgia Tech, Miami. So
Where's the Miami game?
I think it's home.
At the
Let me
the
just
old
double.
ketchup bottle.
I just want the
At
old
Heinz.
Acrisure.
What? Yeah, well, it's nonsense.
Hang on, let me just see. Yes, last game of the regular season.
So
The
Thanksgiving weekend in Pitt.
A la Mark Richt and Kenny Pickett.
That is another bad Mario Big Chest Road spot right there on Thanksgiving weekend.
Can you imagine Mason? Now, if you want a lottery ticket, look it up.
What are they for the conference?
Carver, they got to be like 20-1 right now. Hang on. Let me look. I'm looking on the duel. Give me a second.
Here. I'll bet you to it. It's just you're not going to get it before me. 18-1.
All right, I did 20-1. I was close.
You were close. Duke's got better odds than them. Duke's 8-1.
Yeah.
Virginia's 7-1. Louisville 5-1.
Carver, they're 6-2, 4-1 in the conference. They play Notre Dame, and they could knock out Notre Dame from contention.
I don't think
so.
That
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
No,
da 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 da.
Speaking of Notre Dame, 4 tutties and a hook, 28.5 against Bill O'Brien and Chestnut Hill.
Man, this guy's 1-7. Hey, and shout out to all the old time NFL guys that think they can come back to college and just Gruden's another.
I'll tell you what I like.
I love Gruden. I love Gruden, but the fact that he's getting all these boxes from these college head coaches, thinking like he's still relevant in the college game. He's a great coach, great quarterback developer, but he knows nothing about the college landscape. Nothing.
Joe, I think over 56.5. Notre Dame probably score 48 or 50 by themselves. 51 right in that area. Notre Dame will probably get close.
I'm going to take the points with BC.
Yeah, because you want to be a needler right now.
Because I think I want to see now Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame get knocked out of the playoff.
You want to row the boat with PJ minus 3.5 at home against Michigan State? That should be a.
When does this other hack get your guy? You used to love Jonathan
Smith. I loved him when he was in Corvallis. I don't love him so much now. 28.5 is a lot for me, Eddie. I don't trust Notre Dame to lay 28.5. They probably will bully them and win by 40, but I can't. That's too much for me. It's too much gas.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would lay it with PJ, but Lindsay and the crew haven't been playing as consistent. I mean, but they haven't won a Big Ten game. Michigan State.
I told you that Virginia is very much in the mix, I guess, in the ACC. They make the trip to Berkeley, minus 4.5 road favorites against Cal.
I like Cal. I like Cal. At home, I like Cal. I'm not sold on Chandler Morris and Elliott on the road. That Virginia going to Cal Berkeley, that's a tough spot for them. It's what? No?
I agree. These teams going east, west, the Stanford and Cal being thrown in the mix in the ACC is just so. I mean, it's so ridiculous. What was it? Florida State went out to Stanford a couple of weeks ago and lost. Like, it's just a weird trip. Very weird trip.
Now
they're playing it in the afternoon. It's not like it's a late night game, Joe. The game's 3:30
East,
12:30 local. I think that the earlier it is for the East Coast team going west to better. If that game's at 10:30 at night, like the Florida State game was in Stanford, I think it's a little different. But middle of the afternoon, I don't think the travel makes much difference when they're playing it at that time.
Minus, you know what? Virginia might smash them now that I think about it.
Yeah, I don't want any part.
I don't like the game though. We got points there? 52.5? Yeah,
52.5.
Okay.
Night games. Purdue into Michigan. 3 tutties and a hook.
How are you going to take Barry Odom in this game? These games are unbettable.
They're unbettable.
They are.
How about Beamer getting 12.5 at Oxford?
Now, they got smashed in their place. That was the last game that South Carolina got smashed before they went on that late season heater. But, scheme-wise, here's the thing. I'll probably be inclined to take the 13.5 with South Carolina just because I think Sellers now could take the game. And that was a gutless effort by South Carolina. I mean, how bad can you had Alabama dead to rights in that game, and you couldn't close the door. The coaching was so bad in the fourth quarter. I would take the points because, again, I think this is a lower scoring game. I think South Carolina wants to play this game in 24-17.
No shot.
No shot. You think they get smashed?
No, I said no shot. This game's played in 24-17.
I like the points with South Carolina.
I like the over 55.5. Up and away.
All right. Okay.
USC laying 6.5 in Nebraska. Now, I don't like USC when they go west to east, but their offense is so much better than Nebraska's offense. You'd like to think they should be able to outscore them.
I don't like Nebraska's front seven this year. They're giving up $155. It's very untypical, I know. And here's the other thing. Their identity over the past couple of years, and I understand Raiola, 72% completion percentage. They're averaging well over 200 passing yards per game, but they can't run the football. And again, USC is pretty good in run support. They're not dominant, but again, it's not like Nebraska's going to line up and have Jeremiah Love and Darian Price running down their throat. That's not their MO, right? So I sort of would lay it with USC. I hate USC. I can't stand Lincoln Riley. Their defense is giving up $136 on the ground. You're going to take Maeva or Dylan Raiola in a big spot. I mean, this kid, I love Matty Rule, but I would probably lay it with USC. Reluctantly. Again, reluctantly.
I kind of like the under 58.5.
They want a bailout blowout for us.
Well, we're getting there. I'm almost at the late night games. Any interest in Florida State minus 9.5 against Wake Forest? Under
Fishy line. I would lay it.
I'd say so too.
I would lay it. I don't know why. Again, that is a fishy line. You got Wake Forest coming off a monumental win. Florida State coming off rest. Weird.
You want to lay 11.5 with Auburn against Kentucky?
No. Because this is Kentucky. I mean, Auburn should smash them, but this is a game with Ashton Daniels coming in, and they got Singleton and Coleman involved. Their defense is legit, but is that their Super Bowl? They're just going to have to walk out on the field and beat Kentucky. They should roll them, but I have no confidence in their offense with Cobb that they're going to do that as well. I just don't believe in Hugh Freeze. I need to see it before. I'd much rather bet them at 2-4 in the conference than I would 1-4. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Georgia Tech 5.5-point road favorites in Raleigh against NC State.
Another fishy line. I almost want to take it with NC State.
Everybody's on Georgia Tech. 91% of the tickets, 86% of the money. It's too easy, Joe. It's just too easy.
I can't do it. Haynes King is legit, though. Haynes King is legit. And NC State, let me tell you, they didn't play bad against Notre Dame a few weeks ago defensively. Their offense with Bailey was so atrocious. But in Raleigh, crazy things have happened. I just want to see the series for a second. And sometimes the series matters. Georgia Tech versus NC State. Hang on. These series matter. Football history. What do you think it is? Georgia Tech won one game. They won one game winning streak. They won last year. That was in Atlanta. When was the last time Georgia Tech won? Let's see. I want to see something. When was the last time G-Tech won in Raleigh? Was 2014. They haven't played every year.
Well, yeah, the ACC's got to.
Yeah, they haven't played every year.
It's not. You don't see everybody every single year.
All
right. James asking if we've given our best bets. We have, James, and if you'd like me to tell you one more time, I have Kansas State plus 7.5, Tennessee minus 3.5, Georgia, Florida over 50.5, Wazoo minus 3.5, Ohio State minus 20.5, Mississippi State plus 4.5. And Cincy plus 9.5. Joe, Oklahoma plus 3.5. Georgia minus 7.5. Maryland plus 21.5.
Mortadell.
SMU plus 12.5.
Mortadell.
Virginia Tech plus 10.5. Clemson -2.5, and Baylor -3.5. There are only, Joe, 2 bailout blowout games on Saturday night. We already talked about one. I told you that I love Cincinnati plus the 9.5 in Utah against the Utes. The other game is Hawaii making the trip to San Jose State with the Spartans -1.5 and a 55.5 total.
I'm taking the over. We're going back to the old days.
Hawaii late night, even though they're not at home, they're on the road, but we still
Doesn't
take
matter.
Hawaii
We're going
night.
back late night, and San Jose. It has almost like a Hawaii stadium in California. It's like on the backyard of a high school field or something. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like that San Jose is like a community park. It's like, I will throw San Jose State's football team right there. Remember when they had Nash?
Yeah.
It just looks like it's like in the middle of it's almost like
Isn't your boy there now at San Jose State?
Kenny Niumaaloho. Kenny Niumaaloho.
At San Jose State now. They've been bad. You're right, Ripper. Spartans have been bad this year. I like Hawaii plus the 1.5. Go and get a little road win.
Yeah, we need points in there, Eddie. If we could get over that 50.
By the way, I was just looking at this because I was at the bottom of this week's games. Man, BYU Texas Tech next week. That's a big game. Love it, Joe. Big game.
Now I can't. Texas Tech needs to wear all red.
And BYU wear all blue?
No.
No.
White with the blue helmet and the blue pant.
The Steve Young BYU, the Ty Detmer, Steve Young BYU uniforms.
BYU blue pant is just, again, I should be a uniform guru. Arkansas, you got to bring out the maroon helmet, the white jersey with the maroon pant. You wear the all maroons at home and all whites on the road. I love the uni, but how about maroon pant with the white jersey? Why can't we do that?
I don't know. Joe, good job with the college football picks. Listen, we don't have a lot of time. We got to come back and do the
rapid fire.
Rapid fire for the NFL picks, but we're going to log out, come back. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back in just literally 2